Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over the housing market update from Ventura County, California. Let's check it out. So the first thing you want to keep in mind when you're looking at these numbers is they're going to include single-family homes, townhomes, and condos/apartments. And we're going to be using the most recent data, which is from August 2023. So the first thing we are going to look at is active listings. Active listings is the home is on the market, it's listed for sale. Potential buyers are touring and viewing the home, but an offer has not been accepted as of yet. So those numbers are down 51.85% since August 2022, which makes sense because a lot fewer people in the county are listing their properties. I'm sure most of you out there who own a home have a mortgage rate locked in at 4% or lower, so it doesn't make sense for you to list that home, sell that home, and then buy a new home with a 7% mortgage rate. That doesn't make sense financially, so the lack of active listings actually does make sense. Next, we're going to look at the pending listings. So pending listings means that the home was listed and an offer has been accepted, but it hasn't gone through escrow yet. So it hasn't officially been gone through the escrow process and the new owners have taken ownership of the property. And that's down 17.1% since August 2022. And then finally, we're going to take a look at the sold listings. Sold listings means that an offer has been accepted, it's gone through escrow, and the new owners officially do own that home. Those numbers are down 20.8% year over year. So on this slide, you can see that the median home price for August 2023 was $850,000. Last year in August 2022, the median home price was around $802,000. So there's actually an increase since last year of 6% since August 2022. And then you can just quickly see median days on the market, 21 days. That means that homes are still selling rather quickly. And then 100.4% list to sold price. So that just means that people are listing their homes appropriately and are selling it at or just over the list price. So an important metric that you want to look at when you're just kind of quickly judging the overall health of the housing market is months of inventory. So months of inventory basically means that if we were to stop listing new properties right now, that's how much time it would take for all of the properties that are already listed to sell. So you can see that last month we were at 1.47 months, which is about 19% down month over month, and it's actually 30% down year over year. In a balanced market, you want to see about 4 months of inventory listed. But you can see that everybody knows that demand or inventory is way down and demand is outpacing the supply, which is keeping the prices propped up. But for historical averages, this is really low as far as supply. So we all know one of the most important factors in the housing market is interest rates. So if we take a look at the chart, you can see as of today, the interest rate is 7.12%, which is historically high, especially for my lifetime. I know that back in the 80s, they used to be 18, 19, 24%, but they've been under 5% for I think like a decade and a half. So for it to be at 7% now, that is high historically. Last year, if we take a look between August and then through September, they were between 5 and 6%. They actually started really spiking up in September of 2022. And then they came back down in November a little bit, as you can see on the chart. But typically, for every 1% that the interest rate goes up, buying power goes down about 10%. So People are being priced out of the market due to high interest rates, but the people who can buy still want to buy. And because supply is so low and the demand is still outpacing that supply, that's why prices are staying where they're at. We're going to see seasonal adjustments, right? Some seasons, like in the winter, prices usually go down a couple percent, 5, 6, 7%. But the people who can afford to buy are buying now. And I think actually that's the way to go. I don't think there's going to be a big crash or correction in the housing market. I just think that there's too few homes. So the people that are really benefiting right now in this market are actually the builders. There's been much more demand for new construction, and that's because those builders, they can give you some good deals and you can buy down the rate and things like that. So as we all know, the Federal Reserve has been steadily increasing the federal funds rate to try and combat inflation. In my last video in the spring, my last market update video, I said good news. The Federal Reserve is expected to pause its rate increases, and that was true for a couple months, but the Federal Reserve is very data driven, and since inflation was starting to pick up a little bit, they started increasing the federal funds rate again, as you can see by the chart. So we will see in the coming months what the data says. If inflation is starting to go back down, I think the Federal Reserve will pause those rate increases, and then hopefully sometime next year we can all hope and pray that the Federal Reserve will begin lowering the federal funds rate, and that is going to impact mortgage rates. As soon as they signal that, I think you're going to see that affect the 10-year Treasury yield, which is going to help those interest rates for the housing market come down. It's also going to impact the spread between the 10-year Treasury and the 30-year fixed rate mortgage. I have a video detailing the spread and how mortgage rates are set, so please check it out. So to recap, active listings down a lot. Months of inventory also down a lot. Prices up a little bit, actually 6% year over year. So the story is pretty much the same as it was in the spring when I made my last housing market update video, which is to say that supply is down and demand is outpacing supply, which is causing prices to go up. The largest generation is millennials. The prime age to buy your first home is like 33 to 37. We have a very large cohort of people in that age group looking to still buy a home in this county. So what I think is going to happen is when the interest rates do come back down to 5.5%, 5%, 4.5%, you're going to see an explosion of demand of all the people who are already priced out of the market. They're going to race to bid on the homes that are listed. Now, you're also going to see more supply at that time because people who are stuck right now due to the interest rates might be willing to sell their home and buy a better home because 5% is a little bit more digestible than 7.5%. So if you can afford a 7% mortgage rate and you're still looking to buy a home, I would do it now. Now, that's just me. If I could buy a home now, I would buy a home now. Now, I think that prices do adjust seasonally. So like December, January, typically prices come down a little bit just because there's less activity in the market. So maybe if you are waiting to buy, that might be a good time to look because I really don't think prices are going to come down. And they're going to go up. In fact, once the interest rates do come down, and you're going to see that explosion of demand that I was talking about. Predictions. So predictions, I just gave you mine. Zillow says that home prices will go up 6.5%. They actually clarify from July 2023 to July 2024. They estimate 6.5% growth. Morgan Stanley, I read, is they think home prices are going to be negative 2% in 2024, but I think they don't clarify a month like Zillow does. But also keep in mind that they're speaking about the entire U.S. housing market as a whole, where we are just focusing on the Ventura County. So take it all with a grain of salt. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please comment below, or if you have any feedback or maybe some topics you would like me to discuss in a future video, you can comment that below too. If you are in or around Ventura County and you need any real estate help, please reach out to me, especially if you're one of those people who is thinking about buying or wants to buy a first home or was trying to buy a first home and they got priced out of the market. Contact me, okay? We can make a plan together. You can click a link in my YouTube homepage, which will allow you to schedule time with me on my calendar, or go to my website, rmossman.com, to find my phone number or my email to contact me that way. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.